Under the shade of a banyan tree, Buddha spoke calmly to his disciples, sharing wisdom through captivating tales. A novice monk approached Buddha, his face clouded with doubt, seeking answers about the hardships of his spiritual journey. Buddha turned his calm gaze toward Ananda, his face serene as the still waters of a tranquil pond. "Ananda," Buddha began, "misfortune is not born from the winds outside, but from the seeds planted in our own minds. Effort alone," Buddha began, his voice steady, without understanding, "is like fire burning in the wind, consuming itself but providing no light." Nearby, an archer practiced relentlessly, sending arrows into the air with force but missing the target every time. "Observe that man," Buddha said, gesturing toward the archer, his tone deliberate yet gentle. "Does his effort yield the desired result?" The monk hesitated, watching closely, and answered, "No, Master. His strength is wasted as none of his arrows hit the mark." "And why is that?" Buddha asked, his eyes filled with the quiet intensity of a teacher guiding through self-discovery. The monk studied the scene carefully and replied, "Because he shoots without purpose. His effort lacks focus and direction." Buddha nodded, his smile serene but filled with purpose, as he continued his lesson for all present to absorb. "Intensity without direction, dear ones, leads only to exhaustion. To move forward, one must align action with meaningful purpose." The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, their hearts absorbing the lesson like seeds awakening under nurturing rain. "Ananda," Buddha said, "misfortune often arises from ignorance, from our refusal to examine the patterns within ourselves." He pointed once more toward the archer, whose focus grew sharper as he paused to aim instead of acting hastily. "See now," Buddha said, his hand steady. "When intent guides action, strength no longer scatters but strikes at the heart." The archer loosed his arrow with newfound precision, and it found its mark, creating a visible shift in the observers. Like the archer aligning his aim, each of you must align effort with purpose to illuminate the path ahead. Mindfulness begins with awareness. Sariputra, noticing the sensations of anger, the tension it creates, and the thoughts it weaves. When you become aware, you no longer feed anger's fire. Purpose unfolds when the heart listens and the mind quiets. Do not force discovery, let it blossom naturally within. Do not feed anger with thoughts of resentment, the Buddha said. Starve it of attention, and it shall wither like an untended flame. Do not mistake activity for productivity, nor effort for progress. Examine the roots of your actions, and let truth guide you. Ananda bowed his head, his burden lighter, his heart stirred by the light of understanding Buddha had bestowed. Buddha concluded, to escape misfortune, Ananda, is not to flee from it but to transform it through mindful actions. He let the leaf fall from his fingers, its descent graceful and unresisted. Let go of anger as you would release a leaf to the wind. The monk departed, carrying the lesson forward with resolve, vowing to nurture effort that harmonized purpose and understanding. Thus, under the banyan tree, Buddha illuminated the path for his disciples, unraveling the mystery of effort that truly matters. Another day, under the shade of trees, Buddha sat surrounded by disciples, ready to share wisdom through timeless teachings. A troubled merchant approached Buddha, his face marked with worry, seeking guidance to overcome repeated failures in his ventures. Master, I work tirelessly, yet my business fails. Is it destiny that thwarts me, or do my efforts lack merit? Buddha listened attentively, his expression calm and compassionate, before gently leading the merchant and disciples to the riverbank. Observe the flowing river, Buddha said, his voice steady as the currents, and tell me how you would cross it. The merchant paused, gazing at the water, uncertain of the answer. I suppose by finding a bridge or shallow spot. Indeed, Buddha replied, his tone carrying an air of patient guidance. Wisdom seeks the path that aligns with the flow. He gestured to the currents moving steadily onward, unaffected by the fleeting obstacles scattered across the riverbed. Tell me, Buddha continued, his eyes on the river. Does a man cross the same river twice in the same way? Number. Master, the merchant answered. The currents shift, and the waters flow differently each time. The crossing is never identical. Buddha nodded, pleased with the answer, then turned to his disciples to expand the teaching further. There was once a merchant, Buddha said, who dreamt of possessing the rarest jewel in the entire land. He traveled far and wide, Buddha said, his days spent chasing the dream and his nights tormented by longing. At last, he obtained the jewel, Buddha said, but his joy was fleeting, replaced by fear of losing his treasure. His days were spent guarding the jewel, Buddha said, his nights sleepless, consumed by worry and distrust. He isolated himself from friends and family, Buddha said, afraid they might envy him and seek to take it away. Though he possessed the jewel, Buddha continued, he lost his peace, his happiness, and his connection to the world. This water is bitter, Master, Mahakashyapa said, his voice laced with discomfort, the salt overwhelming his senses. Unfit for consumption. The Buddha nodded, his eyes filled with understanding, then led the disciples to a vast and glistening lake nearby. Like the river, effort must flow with purpose. When change arises, adapt and realign your strength to harmonize with the currents. He pointed to a man downstream, crossing with ease by stepping onto stones revealed by the shifting water. See how he moves, Buddha said, his tone encouraging. He adjusts his steps to meet the path provided by the river. Seek desires that nurture compassion, wisdom, and harmony, Buddha said, letting go of attachments that breed fear and sorrow. Desire wisely, Buddha said, and let your heart become a garden of peace, where flowers bloom without the weight of chains. Megha bowed deeply, her heart lightened by the understanding Buddha had bestowed upon her troubled mind. The disciples exchanged thoughtful glances, each resolving to untangle their own hearts from the web of unhealthy desires. Listen to the river within your soul. Quiet your mind, observe with awareness, and let purpose guide each step forward. Imagine the one who wronged you, Mahakashyapa, their own pain fueling their actions, their suffering echoing in their hurtful deeds. By recognizing their pain, you open the door to forgiveness, extending the hand of compassion to bridge the gap of separation. The Buddha's voice carried the truth, his words resonating deeply within the disciples, each finding meaning within the teachings of compassion. Mahakashyapa bowed his head, tears streaming, his heart softened by the Buddha's guidance, the bitterness of hatred replaced by understanding. The river's gentle murmur seemed to echo Buddha's lessons, calming the spirits of all present as day turned toward evening. Effort without understanding exhausts the soul, Buddha concluded, but effort guided by wisdom nourishes the journey and blossoms into success. Thus, with profound simplicity, Buddha illuminated the path forward, his teachings flowing like the river that inspired them. Another day, Buddha walked with his disciples through lush fields, where they encountered an elderly gardener tending his crops diligently. The gardener's back was bent from decades of labor, yet his face glowed with peace and quiet satisfaction. A curious disciple approached Buddha and asked, Master, why does this man appear joyful, though his effort seems endless? Buddha stepped closer to the gardener and addressed him kindly. Friend, what brings peace to your heart amidst your toil? The gardener smiled warmly, resting his hoe briefly, and replied, I plant not for myself alone but for the world around me. He gestured toward rows of crops, some thriving abundantly while others faltered under the unpredictable nature of the seasons. I sow seeds with care and purpose, the gardener explained. Knowing some may fail, yet others will flourish beautifully over time. Turning back to his disciples, Buddha said, "Observe this man. His effort is rooted in purpose, not driven by restless desperation." A disciple asked eagerly, "Master, is that why his face reflects peace, even as his hands are marked by endless labor?" "Indeed," Buddha replied, his voice steady as the earth beneath their feet. His actions align with purpose, bringing harmony to his soul. The gardener resumed his work, the rhythm of his movements peaceful yet deliberate, embodying balance through every stroke of the hoe. Buddha turned to his disciples, his gaze calm yet piercing, preparing to share wisdom that resonated deeply within their hearts. Effort alone cannot nurture peace. When toil is guided by purpose, even failure feels like a stepping stone toward fulfillment. The disciples reflected, thinking of moments they pursued goals without pausing to examine the meaning behind their effort. "Master," another disciple spoke hesitantly, "how can one find their purpose when their path feels clouded with uncertainty and self-doubt?" Buddha addressed the question with serene clarity, his words flowing like the wisdom of centuries past yet timeless in meaning. Purpose blooms within those who listen deeply to their hearts, silencing distractions to hear the truth planted within their souls. The disciple nodded, their minds stirring with thoughts of how often they rushed forward without grounding actions in mindful reflection. "Master," a third disciple asked, "why do we often fail to recognize the connection between effort and meaning in our lives?" "Because haste clouds judgment," Buddha answered, "and desire misguides effort when the heart seeks without knowing what truly matters." He gestured toward the gardener once more, whose quiet resolve illuminated the essence of the wisdom Buddha sought to convey. "Like this man," Buddha continued, "let each action carry intention, for purpose ensures effort blossoms into harmony, even amid challenges." One day, Buddha said, she sought a remedy and approached a wise healer in search of solace for her aching heart. The healer listened patiently, Buddha said, and handed her a jar, instructing her to fill it with mustard seeds. He added a condition, Buddha continued, that the seeds must come from homes untouched by sorrow or misfortune. Determined to heal, Buddha said, the widow traveled from home to home, seeking seeds as instructed by the healer. Buddha smiled at the gardener's words, his joy evident as he saw harmony shared between his teachings and the man's experience. Effort rooted in purpose, Buddha concluded, is never wasted, for it nurtures peace and reveals fulfillment along life's winding path. As the sun set over the fields, painting the landscape in golden hues, Buddha's disciples felt serenity settle into their hearts. Thus, through the gardener's resolve, Buddha illuminated the true meaning of effort, guiding his followers toward wisdom and inner peace. Ravi, Buddha said, misfortune invites us to expand our perspective, finding connection and wisdom in the shared struggles of life. To escape the grip of misfortune, Buddha said, we must walk the Eightfold Path, cultivating wisdom and compassion with each step. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.